Netflix subscription cancellations soar after Cuties controversy. Spikes nearly eightfold. Forget Netflix and chill. More like Netflix and cancel. The mega streaming company has seen a slew of subscription cancellations after the release of Cuties, amid charges that the film is tantamount to child pornography. Netflix released the movie on September 9, followed quickly by a campaign by critics urging subscribers to #cancel Netflix. 3 days later, cancellations increased to 8 times the daily averages recorded in August, Variety reported. With the #cancel Netflix continuing to trend on social media, it is possible elevated churn could continue in the coming days, according to the firm. Things might get worse for Netflix. Senator Ted Cruz is urging the Department of Justice to launch an investigation into Netflix's involvement with the movie. The film routinely fetishizes and sexualizes these pre-adolescent girls as they perform dances simulating sexual conduct and revealing clothing, including at least one scene with partial child nudity. These scenes in and out of themselves are harmful, and it is likely that the filming of this movie created even more explicit and abusive scenes, and that pedophiles across the world in the future will manipulate and imitate this film in abusive ways, Cruz wrote to Attorney General William Barr. The disgust over the movie is bipartisan. Republican Tulsi Gabbard also blasted Cuties. At Netflix, child porn Cuties will certainly whet the appetite of pedos and help fuel the child sex trafficking trade. 1 in 4 victims of trafficking are children. It happened to my friend's 13-year-old daughter. Netflix, you are now complicit. #cancel Netflix, Gabbard wrote on Twitter. But the film's director, Maimouna Dukour, claims the movie is actually about the dangers of sexualizing young girls. BS. Dukour said, "It's because I saw so many things and so many issues around me lived by young girls that I decided to make this film and sound an alarm and say we need to protect our children." Highly BS, man. Netflix echoed the claim in its own statement, saying Cuties is social commentary against the sexualization of young children. It's an award-winning film and a powerful story about the pressure young girls face on social media and from society more generally growing up, and we'd encourage anyone who cares about these important issues to watch the movie. Hell no. Senator Tom Cotton and Republican Jim Banks also called for the Justice Department to take legal action against Netflix, with Cotton saying, "There's no excuse for the sexualization of children, and Netflix's decision to promote the film Cuties is disgusting at best and a serious crime at worst." Sonny Bunch of the Washington Post gave this description of the movie. Cuties follows an 11-year-old Senegalese immigrant to France named Amy, who finds herself repulsed by her traditional Muslim upbringing. But the alternative, the movie suggests, is kind of horrifying in a different way. She falls in with a group of fellow 11-year-olds who are working on a hypersexualized dance routine so they can enter a dance competition. They get their ideas from the internet, learning to twerk and gyrate and simulate sex acts. It's just nasty, man. I don't even know. Even just reading this makes my stomach turn. Let me read a bit more of this, and then let's call it a day. But please, guys, gals, everything in between, do not watch this movie. No matter what the director or anybody else is trying to convince, which aren't very many people trying to convince to watch it, join the movement. #cancel Netflix. I mean, this is almost like so funny. It's like sick and disturbing at the same time. Check this out. Cuties director hits back against critics saying, "It's bold, it's feminist, but it's so important and necessary." Are you effing kidding me? In response to the enormous backlash surging on social media and beyond, director Maimouna Dukour defended her film Cuties as a feminist work that aims to sound the alarm about the current sexualization of children. Speaking on a panel for French filmmakers at the Toronto International Film Festival on Monday, Ducour said that she did not make a film intended for pedophiles, but instead wanted to raise awareness about a societal problem. "It's because I saw so many things and so many issues around me lived by young girls that I decided to make this film and sound an alarm and say, we need to protect our children. She goes on saying, "It's bold, it's feminist, but it's so important and necessary to create debate and try to find solutions. For me as an artist, for politicians and parents, it's a real issue," she added. "Yo, woman, speak for yourself, man. Don't speak for others." Ducour also hailed her film for being a piece of, I would say but anyway, a piece of representation for people of color to see themselves on screen. This is representation of people of color in this way? Underage kids? So of course diversity and inclusion have to be the keys to progress in our cinema, she said. Jesus Christ. Netflix found itself at the center of controversy last month when it released a poster for the movie Cuties that featured preteen girls in suggestive poses. And I am not going to put that poster on here. So I'm just leaving this photo that's up and just talk about this crap of a movie and just issue the warning to all of y'all. Do not watch this. You'll really feel like guilty and dirty at the same time if you do. I mean, just reading and just hearing about it just makes me feel like, ugh. The company apologized after severe online backlash. "We're deeply sorry for the inappropriate artwork that we used for Cuties. It was not okay, nor was it representative of this French film which premiered at Sundance. We've now updated the pictures and description," Netflix said in a statement. They should, update their picture and description by taking it off altogether. Cuties tells the story of 11-year-old Amy who joins a dance group called the Cuties at school with her friends. The film holds a 90% score on Rotten Tomatoes and won the World Cinema Dramatic Directing Award at Sundance this year. Gee, I wonder why. Defenders of the film say that Netflix dramatically misrepresented the story's content with its poster, noting that the original French advertisements were tame by comparison. However, upon the movie's release last Wednesday, the hashtag "Cancel Netflix" quickly began trending when clips of the movie revealed that the poster indeed reflected the movie's content: preteen girls dancing sexually. In response to the backlash, Netflix defended the film as a social commentary against the sexualization of young children. "It's an award-winning film and a powerful story about the pressure young girls face on social media and from society more generally growing up. And we'd encourage anyone who cares about these important issues to watch the movie." Hell no, I said. Not happening. Much of the mainstream media has largely run for cover for Cuties and Netflix overall, choosing instead to blame the backlash on misguided conservatives who judged the film before ever watching it. You know what? If you guys even watch the trailer, it'll make you feel uneasy and queasy. All right? So not only would I advise you not to watch the film, don't even bother watching the trailer. God. And then we got a Slate op-ed explores the creepy conservative obsession with Netflix's Cuties. Even though the backlash against Netflix's Cuties was largely bipartisan, a new op-ed in Slate has put the blame squarely on the shoulders of conservatives. According to Sam Adams, conservatives have a creepy obsession with the new French film, which has been accused of indefensibly sexualizing 11-year-old girls in the name of artistry. The movie finds itself at the toxic intersection of QAnon delusion and right-wing moral panic, with a smattering of leftist outrage on the side. Breitbart has posted about the movie a half-dozen times in the past 2 days, singling out critics who praise the film, several of whom have received death threats and been harassed off social media, wrote Adams. And Thursday night, Tucker Carlson made it a centerpiece of his show, accusing the nonspecific they behind the movie of wanting to destroy young girls. Adams argued that critics of the movie have not actually seen it, choosing instead to go off the marketing materials and viral clips online. Addressing those who would say that Cuties pushes softcore child porn, Adams argued that intent matters in this case. By definition, porn requires intent, and whether or not Ducour succeeded, and the reviews are divided on this point, her intent is clear, Adams continued. The movie's protagonist, Amy, is an 11-year-old bouncing between the repressive culture of her conservative Islamic upbringing, where she is warned that evil shows itself in the scantily clad women, and the hypersexualized environment of Western culture, where images of adult women doing strip club gyrations are emulated by tweens on social media for likes. The movie presents those images in order to critique them. Adams then addressed the politics of the situation by highlighting how conservatives were quick to point the finger at Susan Rice and former President Barack Obama, as Rice is a member of Netflix's board of directors and the Obamas have a production deal with the streaming giant. According to Adams, conservatives now have a rallying cry to enlist more QAnon followers. It's hardly accidental that most, if not all, of the right-wing attacks on Cuties invoke Netflix's connection to Barack Obama, although the Obamas, who do have a production deal with Netflix, had nothing to do with the film's acquisition, said Adams. It's a way of winking at QAnon's insistence that the Democratic Party is a haven for pedos. Conservatives are hardly the only people in America currently denouncing the movie Cuties. As of this time, the movie holds a lousy 2.1 rating on IMDb and an audience score of 3% on Rotten Tomatoes. Two difficult scores to achieve unless the movie was universally disliked beyond the elite critical class. Republican Tulsi Gabbard also joined in the attack on Cuties over the weekend when she said the movie will whet the appetite of pedos. Netflix child porn Cuties will certainly whet the appetite of pedophiles and help fuel the child sex trafficking trade. 1 in 4 victims of trafficking are children. It happened to my friend's 13-year-old daughter. Netflix, you are now complicit, tweeted Gabbard. How many more warnings? How many more issues? How many more people have to say, this isn't good. Just cancel the damn thing, Netflix. I mean, what the hell? Let's end it on a high note, though, as Netflix investors and subscribers might actually be dropping the streaming service, after all, because of the scandal surrounding the French film Cuties. Yipit Data, a global research firm, recently told Fox Business that Netflix's churn numbers, which refers to the number of people who dropped the subscription service, has increased significantly since the film's release. In fact, the churn has reached a multi-year high that was about 8 times higher than back in August. The data comes as Netflix faces controversy over the film Cuties, which featured sexualized portrayals of young children. An online petition has asked for people to unsubscribe from Netflix in response. Do not let political divides steer us away from canceling Cuties, regardless if you're voting for Trump or Biden in November. America, stand up for what is right, wrote Twitter user Michael Phillips using the hashtag #CancelNetflix. Netflix apologized for the film last week in a statement given to Deadline. We're deeply sorry for the inappropriate artwork that we used for Cuties. Oh, not for the movie, right? It was not okay, nor was it representative of this French film which premiered at Sundance. No, the whole film is wrong. Anyways, we've now updated the pictures and description, the company statement said. The film's director has said she received death threats because of the poster, which was only released in the US, and said the poster was not representative of the film. Are you sure she didn't get death threats because of the actual movie? Dweeb. I'm going to read some people's comments, see what they have to say, and then we'll call it a day. Somebody, Edward777, said, I know someone who said he would watch it just to see if objections to the show are overblown. He turned the show off after 10 minutes, got on the computer, and canceled his next Netflix subscription. He did not want to, as he enjoyed other selections, but felt compelled to. And he is not even religious, not in the least. He is as secular as they come. This one is kind of lame. Autumn Meadow says, what about YouTube? Is everyone going to stop watching YouTube as well? Because there are thousands of videos there just as bad as Cuties. Personally, if I found something objectionable, I just don't watch it. Actually, Autumn, no, you're wrong. YouTube does not have thousands of videos that are just as bad. All right? Go do your research and go do your homework before you make a comment like that. Oatmeal says, I canceled Netflix before this controversy for the simple reason that their content has taken a turn for the worst. It simply isn't worth the money. Another person added, Netflix needn't worry if it loses too many subscribers. The Dems will simply add Netflix aid as a line item in the next stimulus bill. Lame. Impartial replied to that, said, "You do understand that 82% of Netflix is owned by Republican-backed Wall Street investment firms, right? Oh, wait. I'm betting that you're ignorant to that fact." And then another one replied, "Please provide evidence these are Republicans." Okay, enough about that. Another comment from 2 hours ago says, "I watched it with my wife and older kids. It reminded me of the hundreds of dance competitions I've been to with my daughters. In my opinion, and from what I've read about the director, it's a biographical film about her growing up as Senegalese Muslim immigrant in France. It's a social commentary on the sexualized pressures social media and Western culture put on preteens. What do they see online? On social media, what's popular? What gets clicks? Often it's suggestive pictures and dancing. Preteens see this and struggle with how to grow into a teenager. Do they mimic how women are displayed on social media? That's what this movie is about, in my opinion." Yeah, no, that's not what it's about. Maybe you didn't watch it. Maybe you should watch it with a child that's under the age of like 14. Then maybe you'll understand. Anyways, that's enough of this for now. My last suggestion to all you guys, gals, and everything in between, I'm not a preacher. I'm just suggesting don't watch this flick. Don't even bother watching the trailer. If you have comments, do let me know in the section below. Tell me what you think of this. I hope you guys are on my side on this. But again, we're open to anything here on this channel. I want to hear what you have to say. Guys, gals, everything in between, peace and love. Peace and love. Stay strong. Stay safe. Protect yourselves. Protect the family. More importantly, protect the children. Mavakaga. Out.